welcome back to Trails from Zero. We are standing in front of the Eastern restaurant, the, what is it, Long Lao or something? To talk to Grace. After last time we investigated the almost war between the delinquent groups in the downtown area and still are missing some important clues. Anyway, hey, Lucia's sitting here too. Isn't there any place around here that has cheap rent? You said you all told me to look in this area, but I haven't found anything. I knew you'd come crawling to me. Don't be shy now, have a seat. Like I promised, it's my treat, so get whatever you like. Well, that's awfully kind of you. We'll have to respectfully decline the dinner. Oh, but we stick to exchanging information? Oh, you're no fun. Or are you trying to make a statement that you're impervious to bribes and like the upper echelons of a CBD? I don't see the problem with it. If you're buying, I'll be happy to go to town on some free food. I would also accept, so long as you do not have any ulterior motives. It's probably okay. I don't see the harm in sharing a casual meal together. You too, Ellie? Looks like you're the only one worried about Big Bad Grace's shady dinner invite, Lloyd. How are you ever gonna become a pro detective if you're not willing to bend the rules once in a while? Alright, I get it already. But no alcohol. Thank you very much for the meal. This is delectable. The chef here is highly skilled. This food is very satisfying. Well, it's kinda hard to savor something this tasty without a drink. Come on, Lloyd, don't be such a hard ass. One sip ain't gonna kill me, you know? Absolutely not. You know we're still technically on duty, right? We have to keep our wits about us at all times. Yeah, whatever. Our leader is stuck on us at the mule. I believe the problem is that you are far too loose with the rules, Randy. I'm going to have to agree with him. Drinking on the job is highly inappropriate. Oh, you guys are so entertaining. Your personalities are wildly different, yet you fit together so perfectly. I think the four of you really make quite the team. I hope you know that flattery isn't going to get you anything. Anyway, back to the topic at hand. We've now told you everything we know about the incident in the downtown district. I seem to recall you mentioned that you had the missing piece of a puzzle earlier. Isn't it about time you filled us in on it? And what if I told you that I don't wanna? I suppose we would just have to never trust you again. Further, today would be the last time we'd ever speak with you. Oh, calm down, I was just messing with you. But I gotta say, you really are cute when you bust out that serious face of yours. Maybe because it's such a charming contrast to your usual soft, friendly disposition. Okay guys, how about we get back to work? Yeah, sounds fine by me. Thank you for the meal. Ah, don't be like that. I said I was kidding, didn't I? You want your puzzle piece, right? Fine, I'll tell you, I promise. Where do I begin? Okay, first things first. Are you familiar with a group named LoH? Oh. That name... what's up with you two? Your jaws have dropped straight to the floor. LoH and Co. I believe there's a business in Crossbow registered under that name. Well, that's what they present themselves as. Your average law-abiding citizens. The truth of the matter is that they're actually Crossbell's mafia. They've been controlling our dark underworld for a long time. The Mafia. So they're a criminal organization then. Makes sense. I've definitely heard rumors about there being a Mafia in Crossbow. Guessing this news didn't come as a surprise to either of you, yeah? Yeah. It's pretty hard to be in the dark about them if you're Crossbellin. Their organization has a vast network of connection, which includes some very powerful people. Based on what I've heard, it's because of this that the police find it difficult to take any action against them. Guess the underbelly of society is pretty much the same no matter where you go. So what does LoH have to do with this incident? More than you'd think. I've been hearing that LoH's bigwigs have been very active recently. Suspiciously so. It's hard to pin down exactly what they're up to, but they're definitely getting ready for something big. Noticing this, I decided to do a bit of investigating of my own on the side. So the Mafia's making a move. What could they possibly be up to? Whatever it is, it certainly sounds ominous. I have a terrible feeling about this. So that must be what brought you to the downtown district today, correct? What? Bingo, my friend. One of my sources let me know that about 2 weeks ago, there were a few members of a mafia snooping around the area. But they were dressed inconspicuously, as though they were trying to conceal their identities. Doesn't that smell awfully fishy to you? Yeah, that definitely stinks. Agreed. Something feels out of place. It's unlikely that each gang would simultaneously and independently choose to attack one another. A third party orchestrating things from the shadows, however, would explain what happened. There's still something I do not understand. Why would a criminal organization want two delinquent groups to antagonize each other? Right, that's the million-mirror question. It would make sense if they already harbored a grudge against one another. Right? As far as I know, there haven't been any serious conflicts between them before now. Though all three of these groups might be on the violent side, the Mafia are professionals, the gangs are amateurs next to them. Since there's nothing LoH stands to gain, I don't see a reason they interact with them at all. What if one of them formed an alliance with the Mafia to off their rival group once and for all? And if that's going on, then it would mean the attack on themselves was staged to throw off suspicion. I'm a bit doubtful they'd go quite that far. Yeah, I didn't quite get the impression that Vasi and Walt were on bad terms with each other. If anything, it felt like they had a sort of mutual respect for one another. Oh, that's quite an astute observation, Lloyd. Color me impressed. You're right, as far as I'm aware, Walt and Vasi view each other as good sparring partners. Originally, Walt's Saber Vipers were the only gang in the downtown district. However, that all changed 2 years ago. Vasi showed up out of nowhere and established the Testaments. And we all know how Walt is. He obviously went to go put Vasi in his place, but Vasi took him down? 2 for 2! Wow, you're good! Despite his charming looks and small frame, Vasi is a skilled martial artist. I thought he managed to take Walt by surprise with his lightning-quick moves and pin him to the ground. Wow. I was not expecting that. Dang, that cute little kid's really that strong? Guess you can't judge a book by its cover. No kidding, I know from experience that Walt is no pushover either. He might have underestimated Vasi that first time, but they've fought a number of times since then, and are basically evenly matched. And I think they respect each other precisely because of that history they share. I see. So they're not just rivals, they see each other as equals. Suppose that rules out any likelihood that either of them formed an alliance with a Mafia to crush each other. Right. And their respective gangs are so loyal, I doubt there could have been a few subordinates acting out of line. That can really only mean one thing. I may have divulged a little more information than I should have. What do you mean? Well, I've got some interviews to take care of, so I'll be off now. Kick some butt with your investigation. I'll be eagerly awaiting a good scoop once you're done. Toodles! She certainly has her own unique way of doing things, doesn't she? But thanks to her that we are able to get some valuable information. Yeah, knowing that the Mafia is likely involved with this mess is a huge leap forward in our investigation. Now the real question is, why did the Mafia get involved with this? This is going to be a tough one to figure out with the limited evidence we have right now. I do not recall seeing any relevant information in the police database either. Assuming it is there somewhere, it's likely locked behind multiple levels of authorization. Basically, it's classified, huh? That seems likely considering all the people the Mafia has in their pocket. Alright, let's head back to the SSF and see what Chief Sergey has to say about everything. As much as I'd love for us to solve the case, the situation is starting to become larger than what we can handle. You're right. Yeah, let's head back. Hopefully the old man will actually be there this time. So, how was your food? It's great stuff, right? Daddy's such a good cook. Seems nothing much has changed. Oh, you're back already? Managed to stop those delinquents? Well, about that. We think the situation might be a bit more complicated than expected. How so? LoH explained everything we had learned to Chief Sergey. Interesting. Chief? Alright. I'll leave everything concerning this case to you, Lord Van. Wait, what? What do you mean by that exactly? Whether you're willing to continue the investigation is entirely up to you. You won't be getting any info about LoH out of me either. You'll have to dig for it on your own. How are we supposed to... If I told you to stop the investigation, would you follow orders? What? The Mafia being involved in this case already overcomplicated things. As your superior, the most logical step for me is to order you to close the case. Immediately. Now, is that what you want me to do? No. If you gave up now, that'd just leave a bad taste in my mouth. Wendy's right, especially after learning as much as we have. I agree as well. Well, I suppose if you naive kids slipped up and got yourself hurt on my watch, I'd have a hard time sleeping at night. So I'll do you a favor and introduce you to a trusted consultant of mine. A consultant? Sergey handed over a business card to LoH. Grimwood Law Office. Something about that name rings a bell. It's located on West Street. Run by a lawyer named Ian. Big bearded guy. Oh, near the bakery, right? I remember talking to him a couple of times when I lived in the area. I've heard of him too. Mr. Grimwood mainly provides legal consultations to corporations and other businesses, right? Though I believe he also offers his services to ordinary citizens too. That's right. Between his beard and his build, the guy almost looks like a bear, so people have taken to calling him Grizzly Grim. I'm sure he's got loads of info on the Mafia. Who knows, he might even have a new intel that even the CBD doesn't know. Really? That's quite impressive. Just what kind of guy is this lawyer? You'll find out when you meet him. I've spoken with him previously about SSS-related matters. He'll at least hear you out if you tell him you're with a special support section. I figure if nothing else, this will be a good opportunity for you to go introduce yourselves. Understood. We'll check in on him. West Street is just around the corner. Everything okay with paying this law office a visit? Of course. Shall we head out? Say, is the back door already open? It is. But this is everything new. Can I go out? I can, so I make a little cut here and go around, talk to everyone once more. So we see each other in a moment. I'm so goddamn mad. I knew we should have taken them out while we had the chance. Back when we were loading Koki into the ambulance, we ran into a bunch of blue bastards. They were crying about how one of their guys was knocked out too, so the ambulance took him along with Koki. So we're taken at the same time. Ain't that one hell of a coincidence? What's the matter to you? We took care of Koki through the night and called an ambulance in the morning. Right, I suppose the testaments were essentially in the same situation. Makes it sound like you fought each other. But in that case, wouldn't you have known that the testament got hurt too? They even claimed that his wounds were the result of your signature nail beds. Ha! That's pretty obviously one of their dirty tricks. They ain't afraid of getting down and dirty. Those brainiacs are always trying to make us look bad. Son of a bitch, I know we decided to retreat, but we should have totally beat the hell out of them right then and there. Damn those blue bastards messing with us like that. Look at what they did to my poor boy. I'm freaking pissed we didn't beat them when we had the chance. Now that it's come to this, I regret not reading my old man's medical textbooks. Medical textbooks? What? Oh, it's you guys again. You got a problem with that? Everybody has a secret or two. We dragged Azel back here after he was assaulted to administer some emergency medical care, but didn't regain consciousness. We ended up calling an ambulance and had to wait until dawn before we could shuttle him off. I may despise my old man, but I really regret not having him teach me some basic first aid techniques. So that's what happened. You guys must be worried sick. Yeah, strangely enough, the ambulance didn't depart for the hospital immediately after picking up Azel. Alright, that's because they ended up picking that kid from the Saber Vipers that got hurt. I'm relieved the ambulance did not necessarily double their effort. Why the hell are you guys relieved? That punk is a stinking wiper! Lost my cool there for a second. Azel being hospitalized has me worried. My old man works there, so maybe I use him as an excuse to go visit Azel tomorrow. Excuse me, Michael. We came back like you asked us to. Right, we had a quest. Or a request from him to come back. So what did you want to show us? Well, there you are. How cute of you to come running like a group of puppies when I call you. Well, if I recall correctly, you mentioned you had some kind of plan to measure our competency, right? You sure recall correctly. If you're feeling up to a challenge, what do you say taking a little test? Huh? What kind of test is it exactly? Oh, it's nothing too complicated. I'll pick out 10 questions at random from our test bank we use in the written portion of a bracer exam. That way I'll be able to know if you're at least as knowledgeable as a junior bracer if you manage to get all 10 of them right. However, if you were to fail, there will be no place for us to operate in Crossbell where some of the continent's greatest bracers have gathered. Am I correct? Man, talk about putting on the pressure. So we missed one question, we're gonna be labeled a bunch of dumbasses. That's kind of a raw deal. Pfft, not at all, I'm not doing this to put you guys down. This is just my style. So here's a tip for you. You can study the stuff that's gonna be on the exam over at the public library in the administrative district. Remember, I'm giving you this test to see if you actually be worth your salt when it comes to helping the citizens of Crossbell. So, are you guys up for the challenge? Accept. Sure, we give it a shot. Now that's what I'm talking about, baby. Yo, Lloyd, you sure about this? Yeah, I'm not too worried about it, honestly. We had to take a similar exam back at the academy. Besides, it's almost like I'm running away if I back out now. It wouldn't feel right. I understand what you mean, and I agree. Likewise. I guess there's nothing more to say then. Let's do this. I like that feisty attitude. By the way, Lloyd, I get the impression that you're the leader of the group in a way. Want to take a crack at answering the question on behalf of everyone else? Yeah, I'll do it. Oh, I love that look in your eyes. It's giving me the willies. Okay, boys and girls, let's get this party started. Michel's test. Boys and girls, receptionist Michel's test. Bracer general education examination. And now, the first question. This one will be a cute freebie to get you warmed up. As you know, the Orbital Revolution brought forth the technological advancement of orbments to our continent. The question is, how many years ago did it occur? 50 years ago. I'm pretty sure it happened about 50 years ago, right? Bingo! Right you are, my friend. Don't let it get to your head though, that one was a freebie. But really, it's crazy to think about how much orbital technology has advanced in the last few decades. Back when I was a little kid, I would never imagined riding something as fancy as an orbital car. Seemed like something straight out of some fairy tale. That's one hurdle down. Anyway, on to the next question. Question numero 2. The driving force behind the orbital revolution was all thanks to one man's prototype orbment. This one's another gimme, but who's the creator of said orbment? That is Professor Epstein. I know this one. It's Professor C. Epstein. Huzzah, you got the right answer. Did you guys know that people were skeptical of his inventions at first? They probably just didn't see what the big deal was. But once people began to realize just how gosh darn useful they are, they quickly became they quickly became an integral part of our daily lives. The Epstein Foundation has made great efforts towards the research and adaptation of orbital technology. That much is common knowledge. The orbital staff are used for common also falls under the Foundation's research efforts. Oh yeah, Taylor totally mentioned that she's employed by the Epstein Foundation. That's a close call. She probably would have given me quite a glare if I screwed that one up. Enough chit-chat. Next question. We all know that quartz are the key component of any orbital device, right? And to synthesize quartz, you need sepith. When I talk about sepith, what specific form of septium am I referring to? Fragments. I believe they're septium fragments. Oh, heck yeah, you got that right, buddy boy. Septium fragments are refined into quartz, which we then use in our orbital devices. Monsters are inherently attracted to septium, so they often end up munching on sepith. Defeating critters is an easy way to obtain sepith, so keep that info in your back pocket. So far so good. These questions are all common sense. Time to prepare for question 4. Our good friend the Erebonian Empire lies to the west. Its important and overwhelming existence can be felt by all of us Crossbellans. I imagine you've probably seen their emblem before. Can you recall what the symbol of Erebonia is? The Golden Stallion. I believe it's a Golden Stallion, right? Sorry, I cannot do it. Nay, I think is what I'd say if you were wrong, but you're right. It's no secret that the pride of the Erebonian Empire lies in its unmatched military might. The Golden Stallion is the symbol of that power of theirs, and thus is on the country's emblem. There was once an order of knights in the Empire known as the Eisenritter. They were known for employing cavalry, so that may be why the Empire adopted the Golden Stallion as its emblem. Nice, managed to get that one right somehow. Now, question 5. We're almost halfway through this little quiz, so hang in there. A nation known as the Calvert Republic sits directly to the east of Crossbell, opposite of the Erebonian Empire. It's no exaggeration to say that Crossbell's entire history revolves around the long-term struggle for power between Erebonia and Calvert. Now your question is this: what's the name of a primary manufacturer of orbital and heavy weaponry in the Republic? That's Vern. Oh, this is easy, it's a Vern company. Vern, baby, Vern! That's exactly right. Calvert's Vern Company and Erebonia's Rainford Company are famous as the continent's two largest manufacturers of orbital weaponry. However, it's not fair to only discuss their weapon development. They're also responsible for making vehicles, appliances, and plenty of other nifty items. Ooh, another question down. The lead info for that one threw me off a little, so I'm glad I got it right. Looks like we make it a little past the halfway point now. You're giving a valiant effort. Nice job, fearless leader of us. You keep this up, I'm sure you have no problems plowing through the rest of it. You're doing great, Lloyd. I'm thoroughly impressed. Come on, guys, I don't think I've really been that impressive. It's all pretty common knowledge so far. Well, regardless of how well you're doing, you still got 5 questions left, buckaroo. I think you've had enough time to warm up, so it's time I up the ante. I hope you're ready. Shall we begin? It's time for the 6th question. A catastrophic event known as the Great Collapse befell our continent a long time ago. This disaster resulted in the complete loss of civilization and fractured people into different factions that waged war on one another for many centuries to follow. This period, now known as the Dark Ages, was eventually ended by one such faction that rose triumphant. They organized themselves to bring about order and justice to Samurai, allowing for the rebuilding of society to begin. You probably know who I'm talking about, right? The Septian Church. It was the Septian Church, right? It sure was. Good job paying attention in Sunday school. Around the year 500 of the Septian calendar, the Septian Church emerged to spread the teaching of the sky goddess Adius. Their intent was to provide aid to those in need. The church's influence grew powerful enough to establish themselves across the Muria, so the nobles and knights who ruled during the Dark Ages could no longer ignore them. The effects of Adius on their teaching can still be felt all across the continent to this day, as they are deeply rooted in our society. Okay, good work on that one, Lloyd. Anyway, on to lucky number 7. The headquarters of the Septian Church is located in a city-state known as the Holy City of Ateria. The Holy City of Ateria is made up of various administrative organizations that handle specific tasks, giving it a state-like structure. Amongst these organizations, one that handles the church's ceremonial rituals. Do you happen to know which organization I'm referring to? I think that's the Congregation for Divine Worship. Is that the Congregation for Divine Worship? Bingo! Good job! That was one tough cookie. Most priests found within chapels and cathedrals across the continent are part of this branch of the church. There's actually a cathedral located outside of the northern exit of the city that I offer the occasional prayer at. The Archbishop in charge is also from the Congregation of Divine Worship. That was really tough. Can you feel the burn? We're almost there. On to the 8th question. As we all know, the Greater Guild has branches all across the continent. But what I really want to know is, just where in Zemuria is its headquarters located? Le Mans. It's in Le Mans, obviously. You're Le Mans! Cause right you are. Our headquarters can be found in Le Mans State, alongside our biggest investors, the Epstein Foundation. In the event of a serious conflict, HQ can issue a direct order to all bracers to mobilize. I see. Time for the 9th question. You ever heard of that infamous thief that lives in Erebonia? A bit of a strange one. He steals precious works of art and then sends out calling cards with riddles on how to retrieve them. Also, his identity is hidden behind a mask. Apparently, people laud him as some kind of hero. Sounds a bit silly if you ask me, though. Anyway, I got a little off track there. Do you know what name this bad boy likes to go by? Phantom Thief B. I've actually heard of him before. Wasn't his name Phantom Thief B? Unbelievable! You got it right. Looks like you've done your foreign affairs homework. His infamy transcends the confines of Erebonia, as people across the continent have heard of his misdeeds. Nothing is safe from his grasp either. He's stolen anything from ranging from rare paintings in museums to a whole freaking tank. Rumor is that he was recently running amok in Liberal. Who knows? Maybe we run into him sooner than you think. Yeah, I've definitely heard rumors. I'd like to avoid him if possible, though. It's time for the 10th and final question. Erebonia and Calvert have been at each other's throats over the rightful ownership of Crossbow State for a while now. They've waged war against each other time and time again, causing grief and bloodshed for many innocent civilians. The situation became so severe that it was brought to the attention of Liberal's Queen Alicia. She proposed a treaty to end the conflict between the two nations. The treaty was signed 2 years ago by 3 nations: Liberal, Erebonia, and Calvert. If you're truly cross-balance, then the answer to this question should be a no-brainer, right? The Non-Aggression Pact. You're referring to the Non-Aggression Pact. And non-aggressive it was. That one should be a gimme. The treaty was drafted with the intention of diffusing conflicts between any of the 3 nations via diplomacy as opposed to war. Prior to the signing of the treaty, tensions were at an all-time high in Crossbow State. I'll spare you most of the details, but both nations' armored division thought it appropriate to hold simultaneous military exercises at our borders. One single misstep could have had catastrophic consequences. I'm sure it would have triggered a full-scale war between the two of them. And so, Queen Alicia proposed this treaty as a means of preventing that from happening. We should all be extremely grateful to Liberal. They really saved our behinds. No way was I going to get that one wrong. It's finally over. I was having so much fun. Good job getting through that. Oh, thank ideas, it's finally over. Why don't we take a look at your score then? Wow, sir, perfect score. Your knowledge is in line with our junior bracers at least. Looks like you got some potential in you after all. Oh well, it's a relief to know. Thank you very much. Wow, didn't think he'd compliment me like that. Dude, I was on the edge of my seat the whole way through. I'm glad I can finally take a breather. I'm surprised LoH managed to answer a question outside of his area of expertise too. I think I will ask him to assist me with filling in missing information for the database. Oh, you guys are embarrassing me. Anyway, I have a little reward for you for getting all those questions right. An action quartz. Oh wow, are you sure we can have this? Yep, didn't think you stood a snowball's chance in Gehenna of doing so well, so think of this as my apology for underestimating you. It's all yours now, sweetie. Take it. Well, if you say so. Thanks a lot. This concludes our little quiz. Now that that's done, you guys better bust your humps and work hard so our bracers can catch a breather every once in a while. Yes sir, we'll do everything we can. Alright. I'm back from exploring, so off to the law offices. Grimwood Law Office. I believe this is the place. Yeah, I've seen its owner around the neighborhood before. I had no idea he was such a prestigious lawyer, though. Well then, Mr. Grimwood, I'm sure we'll speak again in the near future. Of course, I'll be here. Can't your division do anything more to solve this, though? I wish you'd think a little more about how this will impact the citizens. Carrying favor of the populace is not my responsibility. If you'll excuse me. You four... Is something the matter? I see. So you're those pups that Sergey decided to adopt. Come again? Hold on, that badge. You work for the CPD too? Who I am isn't important to you. I imagine you're here to speak with Mr. Grimwood about something. Whatever it is, I hope you don't intend on wasting his time. Unlike you as rookies, he's a busy man. Excuse me? What was his problem? He looked like a detective from one of the investigative divisions. He appears to be the arrogant type. Maybe, but I get the feeling Specs there can hold his own. Did you notice the weapon strapped on his left arm? Wait, he had a weapon? I didn't even see it. Impressive observation, Randy. I detected it with my senses. He carried a large handgun, military grade, I believe. Yeah, sounds about right. Dang, guys. You two are amazing. It was nothing. I just managed to catch it out of the corner of my eyes. More importantly, should we not head inside and greet the lawyer? Oh, right. I'm sure he's very busy, but we should still go ahead and introduce ourselves. Forget something, detective. Oh, pardon me, I mistook you all for someone else. Welcome to the Grimwood Law Office. How can I help you today? Oh, no need to hold back. If you have a question, ask away. You four look quite young. Have you gotten into some trouble with loans? Or perhaps you're looking to open a business together? Come now, ask me anything. No, sir, it's nothing like that. This guy's got a lot of energy for an old man. So this is the famous Grizzly Grim. I see the rumors are true. Hold on. Now that I've taken a closer look, I can't help but feel as if I've seen you somewhere before, young man. Are you one of the kids that used to live in this neighborhood? Wow, you remember me? That's right, I lived in one of the apartment complexes about 3 years ago. Allow me to properly introduce myself. My name is Lloyd Bennings. So he did live here. That explains why you look so familiar. Wait. Bennings? Man, could you be Guy Bennings' younger brother? Yeah, I am. You knew my brother then? More than just knew him, we... Never mind, I suppose we're here to discuss something important. Come on in, you can fill me in on the details once we take a seat. Oh, and where are my manners? I am Ian Grimwood, lawyer and head of his law firm. I see. I was wondering when I would meet the special support section that Sergey told me he was putting together. Oh yes. Now that I think about it, I read an article in the Crossbow Times about you. You certainly showed diligence and spunk right out of the gate, didn't you? It sounds like our first job might have been a little exaggerated. So Guy's younger brother's a police officer now too. My, how wonderful. I can only imagine this is Idios' will. Mr. Grimwood, can I ask what your relation was with my brother? Well, the same one I expect you and I will now have. Guy used to drop by occasionally to share and exchange all sorts of information with me. As I'm sure you know, he was an incredibly talented detective. So I'd wager he ended up helping me far more than I was able to help him. Wait a minute. Lloyd, your older brother is a detective? The hell, man, why didn't you tell us about him? Sorry guys, I guess it just never came up. Besides, Guy's no longer with us. You mean he was killed in line of duty about 3 years ago now? Oh, that explains why you left Crossbow. What happened to Guy was truly tragic. Believe it or not, I've conducted my own investigation into that particular incident. Sadly, any leads that may exist eluded me. Is that so? Well, let's put that aside for now. It's not why we've come here today. Mr. Grimwood, we've explained our situation to you. Is there anything you can share with us pertaining to LoH or its recent activities? LoH. There's a name surrounded by nothing but sinister rumors. Illegal dealings with both the Empire and the Republic. The selling of stolen goods, mirror laundering, weapon trafficking, and even operating as a middleman for hiring Jägers. I'd say it's more than likely they take advantage of Crossbill's unique situation to aid them in each and every one of their long list of crimes. What do you mean by unique situation? What he means is, while trade and commerce have grown exponentially over the past few years, Crossbill's political foundation is quickly deteriorating, right? Well put. Crossbill and politics are currently in an extremely fragile state. The majority of politicians choose to align themselves with either the Empire or the Republic, and are nothing more than greedy, power-hungry leeches. Even if some kind of legislation to crack down on LoH was proposed, it would never pass. There are simply too many Diet members in their pocket. For real? Damn. Unfortunately, he is correct. The number of Diet members tied to the Mafia is higher than I'd like to admit. That's likely the main reason the police can't touch them. The issue seems quite complicated, or perhaps I'm simply too young to understand. Does this mean LoH can commit any crime they want with no repercussions? No, it hasn't gotten to that point yet. If the government were to turn a blind eye to any obvious crimes on their part, I'm sure it would send cross-balance and our surrounding nations into an uproar. Therefore, LoH has been very careful to avoid directly interfering with the citizenry's daily lives. However, as long as they don't actually cross that line, the CPD won't lay a finger on them. They've overlooked so many of LoH's smaller crimes that they can't see what they've all added up to. This can't be real. Reality ain't so pretty. Behind all this city's neon lights, there are demons lurking in the shadows, huh? I can only wonder what sort of information is inside those highly classified documents. Anyway, that's essentially all I know about LoH. However, I need to mention that the situation with the Mafia has taken a turn. Really? Could you explain? I hear that even the CPD has only just acquired this intel. But apparently a new faction strong enough to oppose LoH has recently surfaced. And by all accounts, they're quite powerful indeed. A new faction? Surely it's not the Bracergirl, right? No, this new faction isn't a threat to LoH because they're looking to bring them to justice. They are a threat because they're in the same line of business. You see, there's a powerful organization that operates out of the Republic's eastern quarter. And it's already managed to worm its way into Crossbill. What? You're certain of this? Yes, previous rumors on this organization turned out to be true, so I have no reason to be skeptical now. They're called Hey. Just recently, a new commercial unit registered under the name Hey Trading opened for business in the Harbor District. The name certainly seems to be of Eastern origin. If things go south, it may mean a war between two organized crime groups. The petty fights we've seen between the street gangs would be nothing compared to that. You're absolutely right. At the very least, there haven't been overt signs of a dispute between the two groups just yet. However, I wouldn't be surprised if they began battling each other outside the public eye. The First Division seems to be keeping a close eye on the whole thing. You don't say. So the man with the glasses who left right when we arrived was... Yes, that was Detective Dudley from the First Division. Coincidentally, he was asking me questions on the same topic. That must have been horrible for him. Lloyd? Yeah, quite all of a sudden. Let me guess, you noticed something. Yeah, I still need time to sort it all out in my head though. Thank you very much, Mr. Grimwood. Without your help, we wouldn't have been able to find the lead we needed to move forward with our investigation. I'm just glad I could be of assistance. Sergey has always been a tremendous help to me, so personally I'll be praying for your success. If you ever run into any problems, you're welcome to stop by here anytime. So, what's the next course of action? Should we go back to the SSS building and sort through all the information we've gathered? Good idea. But before we do that, now's the time to wrap up any unfinished business we have to take care of. If my hunch about the truth of these incidents is correct, well, let's just say we're in for a bumpy ride. Well, we just have to buckle up then, won't we? Anyhow, let's head back to base once we've crossed off everything on our to-do list. Sounds good? Yes, it does. Let's make haste. Good, but I think I end the episode just here. And we continue this next time. Until then, I am Mace, and don't get lost.